Okay, okay. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome. It's iCkEdMeL. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. There's a bomb threat in the building. So, the DUI guy reportedly had said here, and it's on Twitter. Let's put up on screen. Hey, everybody, welcome. I thought you know what I'm saying. Hope you had a good little lunch break. Relax. Feel good. Feel great. Yes, please hit the like button. You didn't cheat on me? Oh, thank you. Loyal. I like that. I know everybody else went somewhere else, but thank you for that. Miki, aloha. I know you guys were watching somebody else. You were watching somebody else. Closed captions are on. Yes. It would have already been too late. I saw your name. I just saw your name and everything's blurred. There we go. Chad. I did turn it on though, but it would have been too late if I would have just noticed now and started. I have to do it right before I start the stream. We have been evacuated from the courthouse due to a bomb threat in the Alex Murdaugh trial. Oh, he's actually sitting in there too. And it said here 54 minutes. We're safe. The bomb was allegedly said to have been in the judge's chambers. Ooh. Waiting on the crew from Charleston to come and sweep the building. Okay. So who knows what's going to happen, man? And I was thinking about this trial. I was thinking about this case while I was gone. Hudak. Brian Hudak. I was thinking about this, man, and I got some more pictures. Let's check it out here. Bomb threat update. More than an hour since evacuation, hearing bomb squad was called in. They're coming from Somerville, which is an hour away. Court was supposed to be back at 2:30, but building isn't cleared yet. Oh, Lord. This was at 1:52. What the hell that? Sled. I got Court TV right there. Screen. Court TV. Sled. Got some video. Okay, state prosecutors are being let back into the courthouse. That's a good sign. Oh, damn. Making head waves. Got a bomb threat. Ocean, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I took a little break. I just relaxed, man. Then I got some Taco Bell. I ate, and I got some for Maddie, too. Just chilling. It's kind of like a cloudy day today. Cloudy day. So I was thinking about this case. I guess they're going to start soon. And I was thinking, like, they got to have more, man. Like, they need to have some more. The prosecution, because like I said earlier, I feel like Alex, in my opinion, I feel like he did it. But what I'm not sure is directly or indirectly. I feel like he has something to do with this. I don't get the two guns, the missing gun. I feel like the timeline with the Snapchat video, that was big. The guy, I feel like they're like showing his character, and if they're trying to go with the financial motive to like buy time or prolong time or to get attention away from all those financials that came out. But then I feel like they're just dragging it. They're dragging it too. Maybe it feels dragged because we've watched it twice already, because we watched it without the jury. Now we're watching it with the jury. But that other friend still has to come out, I think, right? The other testimony. If this is all they have, this and then the other 200 SLED agents, which is already dragged out. Like, we just needed the people with the evidence of like the gunshot residue, the people that responded to the scene. All they have is like the people that collected the damn, I know they got to set the foundation, but it's like, yeah, I'm the person that put it in the vial, and then I'm the person that put it in the bag. Yeah, and I'm the person that signed the bag, and I'm the person that signed the vial. Bitch, where is the rest? Like, where's the actual concrete, definitive, this mother effer did it? They are, I get it. I guess that's foundation, right? Lay the foundation. Where's the rest? That's why I'm like leaning now. I'm starting to think like, I still think the guy is involved, either directly or indirectly, but I'm almost thinking they can't prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't think they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt unless they have some sort of Hail Mary, some other shit. Because I feel like the Snapchat video was pretty damning. But unless if they don't have anything else, because even today, if you look at today, I feel like there were some days that the defense took an L. I feel like the defense today is almost taking a W. I feel like these witnesses that are being brought out, like this lady that was sitting there, that was like, I think the receptionist at the law firm, they flipped it and they were like, you know, wasn't he a family guy? Wasn't he always taking time off? Yeah, I guess sometimes. Yeah, wasn't he always taking time off? When your father died, wasn't he pushing for you to take all the time you need? Weren't you paid the entire time? Wasn't he taking time off for his kids and family? You guys literally cried on the phone together. Okay, so you're bringing this person in for the financial part, but it's backfiring. And to me, I mean, I don't know. I think the jury is kind of like, all right. I mean, I can't see them. The people that are in the courtroom probably know better. But you already have somebody that said, yo, I'm out of this bitch. I have a medical emergency. I'm going to punch myself. I'm going to go purposely get infected with the virus, or whatever it is, to go to the ER. I can't be here. And that was the alternative, the backup juror. And then you already have the other person complaining that like, yo, I got 3 weeks or I got to get the fuck out of here. Which I think the judge spoke to him. He was like, they kind of worked it out. But to me, it's like, it's already setting like, are we like, where's the shit at? I know they're saying it's a circumstantial case. Where's the shit at? Like, get to it. Get to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, get to it already. I don't know. That's my little rant and my thoughts. Where's the rest of the shit? This is all you got? I mean, and then the gunshot residue, I feel like that's interesting. There's a couple of things, but even like the witness, the caretaker, Alex's mother's caretaker, but they're going so far from the actual things that are damning into this other shit, and you're just taking everybody away, far, far, far away from the shit that was actually kind of damning and circumstantial, but damning to this other shit that's kind of like, where are we going? Like, they brought this lady, which I thought was great, the scarf lady, the leopard lady. That was good. I think if you're going to bring in the financial stuff, that was good. But some of the other stuff is kind of like, I don't know, bro. And I honestly think that it benefited the defense, not that they wanted the financial stuff in, but having to go through the process of like, okay, we're going to sit here without the jury, and we're going to get to do a test run of the witnesses, and the witnesses were fiery when the jury wasn't there. And to me, it seems like the defense changed their strategy. And they're like, okay, maybe this is not the best way to go, to be aggressive like this. Let's be compassionate. Let's be understanding. A couple times, the guy, Dick Harpulton, is like, you know, I'm not trying to attack you. I understand you're frustrated. He even referred to the people that Alec scammed, the skeezer, as victims, which they are. He referred to them as victims. So to me, he's almost like sympathizing and just reiterating, you know, we're not here to try this financial stuff. We understand your frustration. They changed up their strategy the other time around. The second time around when the jury was actually there and working it to their benefit. All right, let's see what the chat says. The prosecution needs to switch it up. So you got to do something else. I mean, all right, you're going to keep bringing these people in? Okay. But you got something else, man, because they're losing it. And then also this Dick Harpootlian guy, and I feel like it's gone back and forth a couple of times. I feel like the defense initially started strong, then the prosecution started coming back, and like the defense is coming back now. And this Dick Harpootlian guy, I haven't looked it up myself, but the guy's a state senator. Dick Harpootlian. A state senator heavily connected with the Democrat Party and supposedly heavily connected with Biden. He got a lot of pull, a lot of strings. Dick Harpootlian. That's a lot of Mels. Good old boy. Them good old boys got strings. They got pull. Now this bomb threat. Let's do a poll in the chat. Let's get some engagement on. Try to wake you guys up. Try to wake myself up. A lot of times I'm trying to help. Not help. Amp myself up. Wake myself up too. Energize myself. Get my energy from myself. So what I was thinking is, all right, so this bomb threat, right? Bomb threat. So do you guys think, one, rando for clout? Rando for clout. Clout chase. Or someone invested in the case, whether it's prosecution or defense. Because what did this really do? Did it really do anything besides just prolong and buy some time? If I don't know, rando for clout. And when I say someone invested in the case, I mean like the prosecution or the defense, or family or friend or something like that. I'll put the poll. This is the wrong chat. Damn, I got the wrong chat open. The hell am I looking at? Hold on, let's try that again. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down. Bomb threat. Alec. Where's Buster at? We were asking for Buster. I didn't really see him today. Okay. Rando for clout. Clout chase. Or someone. Breaking news. It's all clear heading back to the courthouse, according to Court TV. And apparently there's a fence around the courthouse they're putting up. Amazing. Miss 9, Maggie and Paul had no warning to a threat. So sad. Is the bomb threat connected to the case in any way? I wonder if they'll be able to find out. Or they won't be able to find out. Buster. Buster, did you do something, Buster? Did one of your friends do something? Buster. Bid Tech, BLD Tech, how you doing? Buster, I don't know, man. Buster. With a name like that, I don't know. Not too sure anymore. Could be intimidation. This is just light work. This is just the beginning. This is light work. For the rest of the people testifying. Or that shook up lady yesterday, Shelly. Them good old boys don't play. Them country boys don't play. Good old boys. Southern boys, they don't play out there. Boys club shit. Slad. Scare tactics. I can't wait for Eddie. I hope if Eddie's testimony is bomb, Shell, It'll all be worth it. I'll sit here for the weeks or whatever it is. If Eddie's snapping in the courtroom, yeah, that motherfucker, it'll be all worth it. They should have debombed it before Shelley went on to testify. Shelley might have not shown up. Shelley. Gabby, thank you for being a member. Gabby says, do we know how the threat was reported? Phone call, email, suspicious, unattended package? I don't know. I haven't heard. Booster, thank you for the super chat. Says the end of your last live had me rolling. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had fun. A little bit of fun. I feel pretty rested too, I guess. I just relaxed kind of and ate a little bit. I really want to work on smaller portions, not too. I'm here eating all day with you guys, but I'm trying to. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because this trial shit and like how long and prolonged this shit is. Because I feel like I don't normally even eat that much, but I'm just eating now all the time. Brooklyn Cares, thank you for the super chat. Says I think the state is throwing a case on purpose. That Dick Harpoolton, he got all those political ties and moves. Dick. Carly Marie, thank you for becoming a member. Okay, Mel, you're coming to the dark side. They haven't proved anything yet. Yeah, I think my stances are changing as I'm watching and evolving. I mean, and the documentaries that I've seen, that Low Country, if you have HBO, if you have it, definitely check it out. I know I would never have HBO. The only reason I have HBO is because my internet came with it when I signed up. At the time, it was like a promotion thing, and they were offering HBO for free. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. And I never watch it. I think that's the only time I might have watched it is this show. Brooklyn Cares, thank you for the super chat. Says I think this. Oh yeah, I read that already. Tripping. Got my little Celsius. I should get a Celsius thing, like a sponsor. Flow Rider sued the hell out of them though. Flow Rider. Yeah, it's really good. I feel like when I watched that documentary, I was like, wow, this guy's a piece of shit. Murdaugh. And I was like, damn, I see now how these people get away with all kinds of shit, all kinds of crime and all kinds of shit. Things that a normal average person wouldn't be able to get away with. Boys living that life. The prosecution people were coming back in. Sam Panther, thank you for the super chat and thank you for the membership. Appreciate that. Too much eDML. I kind of haven't been in a long time. I miss going to like a concert or, I mean, I've never been to a concert, but I've been to like these. I remember, I think it was like a warehouse thing one time, inside a warehouse, or a club. But I haven't been to like an actual outside thing like that. Once I move, man, I can't wait to move. I mean, I'm dreading the whole process, but it's this place is small. It's gonna be really easy to move. It's not gonna be just call up some people, have them move all the shit out in one day. The only thing that's gonna have to happen is my computer. I'm gonna have to unplug everything. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Unplug everything. I want a new desk too. Tired of this shaky desk. I want like a steel titanium desk, bulletproof, resistant, heat resistant proof, something with cooling fans and a heater or something. Oh, Shannon says off topic, but have you watched Killing Country on Hulu? So that Killing Country, I feel like I might have watched that one time on Discord with some friends. Is that the one where they're all growing weed and stuff and people dying and disappearing? Killing Country. Oh no, I actually haven't seen that. Or it's County. Is it Killing County? Oh, County. I don't know why I thought I saw Country. So I haven't seen this. I was thinking of the marijuana one. Oh God, Colin Kaepernick produced it. Oh Lord, oh Lord, okay. Oh Lord, Lord. Cancel. Upgrade from the Lego desk. Yeah, this desk was nice for its purposes, but it's like too, like the foundation. It's just it's like super wobbly and shit. I just want something like sturdy. This desk could really give away at any moment. It's not that bad, but it really could. I don't even know if this desk will make the move. No, it's a new short. It's a new show about Bakersfield, California, produced by Kaepernick. Oh. Ooh. Murder Mountain is the weed one. Yes, Brenda. Yep. Upgrade. Murder Mountain. What are you watching on HBO? Let me see if we get any other updates. What else is going on with this? Oh, let's listen a little bit too. Let's see what's going on Court TV. You listen a little bit. If they got any news. I wonder how those jurors are gonna feel too. Yeah, because could this affect the jurors? Are they gonna be a little afraid or?
Members of the general public, deputies, prosecutors. So we're waiting to get an update on that. While we wait, we are going to take more of your questions from YouTube and Twitter. So keep those coming to us. Daniel Field from Facebook. Greetings. Mr. Tinsley was contacted by the state grand jury regarding the investigation into the investigation, or regarding his investigation into the investigation of the boat accident. What were the findings of this inquiry, and more specifically, the law enforcement handling of their investigation? Jonna, I think that the answer to this, and I'm going to ask you, was the fact that I've seen some reporting out there that Alec Murdaugh may have been under investigation by a grand jury at some point in time for possible obstruction of justice because of those surveillance videos we've seen from the hospital from the boating accident that night. So do you think that's possibly what this is related to, why the grand jury would contact Attorney Tinsley, who was representing Mallory Beach's family?
That's a good question. I don't know, especially since we do know that Alec Murdaugh has 99 other charges unrelated to this case that are presently hanging out there, and that the Attorney Tinsley certainly was no friend of his, and you know, part of the reason why he went after, or he wanted to settle or file a civil suit against Alec Murdaugh, was because he was, you know, the deeper pocket than his son Paul. We have to remember, Alec Murdaugh wasn't driving that boat, right? But he had some civil responsibility and perhaps some criminal responsibility if he were trying to obstruct justice. Can I want to pose a question?
Hold on a second. We're getting some. So Sarah, thank you so much for the tweet. The DMs. It's going down in the DMs. Lily here posted, now the court. This was just a couple minutes ago. Now the court has a medical emergency with a member of the public. Yo, what them good old boys doing out there? It sounds like a setup. Paid. What's going on out there, man? These people are really making moves. But I honestly feel like the defense was doing good today, though. It seemed like they were doing kind of good. What them good old boys up to? Now the court has a medical emergency with a member of the public? What the? Something kind of fishy. Something fishy going on here, man. Oh, she follows me. What the heck? I'll follow you back. Maybe she got some updates. Damn, how does she know that? Is she out there? That's what I'm wondering. It says Lily in London. Lily in London. London, Lily. Let me see what else we got. Oh, Fit News is a good source too. Fit News, they've been covering this thing for a long time. Or Fitz News. Oh no. Jesse James here says, LOL Fit News, Mike's still on, bro. Good. No. Fuck. Good for the numbers. Kid literally bragging about the viewing numbers after paramedics is needed to help someone. Not a good look. Oh no. Say it ain't so.
You never know what you're going to get. Count on us to keep live coverage no matter what comes next in this crazy story.
Oh, he thought he cut off the mic. No.
Did that work?
It did.
Thank God.
She said like when you went that way, it kind of stopped working as well.
Yeah, I think I went behind that shed.
Yeah.
Fucked me up. That was good for the numbers, though. You never know what you're gonna get.
Bro, you didn't cut the mic. Ay, mi madre, caramba. All this stuff is going on today. No.
Count on us to keep live coverage no matter what comes next in this crazy story. Did that work?
It did.
Thank God.
She said like when you went that way, it kind of stopped working as well.
Yeah, I think I went behind that shed.
Yeah.
Fucked me up. That was good for the numbers, though.
Oh, shoot. Hopefully nobody died. Man, bro. Damn. So what else is going on out there? Look, they got mayhem out there. All right, so they got paramedics called. Oh, Jesus. Ooh, thank you. Angela tagged me on Twitter. It's funny, I used to hate on Twitter, but I actually really like it a lot. It's really resourceful. So Angela, thank you for tagging me. He says, tag me in Riley Benson's post. Just had what I believe is a member of the public collapse while waiting to get back inside the courthouse. No word on a clear, but some prosecutors and attorneys have been allowed back in. Medical personnel on the way. Oh. Lord, 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 Lord. What a day it's been. How exciting. Ooh, so the jury's going to decide now? Sarah sent me another DM. Thank you, Sarah. Pretty lies and alibis. The jury will decide if they want to continue today. The public is lined up waiting while standing in a line. A woman collapsed from the heat. She seems to be okay. EMS is here. What a wild day. This is going to prolong the thing by like another 2-3 weeks. The heck? Look at CFO. Wow. What a day. Now, did that person just collapse or somebody did something to her? Damn, bro. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. All right, let me see what else these people are saying. If you guys could help me out with the like button, I'd appreciate that. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I don't know what's going on, bro. Mama Lord, thank you for the super chat, says it's going to be a hung jury. It's possible. Someone tried to live mass during lunch. That's true, Angie. Yeah, why does a person collapsing stop the court proceedings? There's something going on, man. Conspiracy. Brooklyn Cares, thank you for another super chat. Thank you so much. Alex had enough. He made a phone call. That boy just winked. All he had to do is just wink. Or like do a little sound like.
Real quick, if I can, because this is something that I would love to pick your legal brains on, sort of along those lines. So since the financial information has now come to light in this murder case, do you think it's possible, number one, do you think Alec Murdaugh should now take the stand when the time comes to say that he did not kill his wife and kid. And if he does that, can he get around having to testify about the financial stuff because he's got a Fifth Amendment right not?
So let me do another poll. Sorry, the poll that I did now, bomb threat question, 864 votes. Thank you for everybody voting. 51% say a random did it for clout. And then somebody said, well, not somebody, 49% said someone invested in case, whether it's like family or friends or the attorney or blah, blah, blah. Typical, stereotypical poll on the channel. And should Alex take the stand? So he's not listed to take the stand. On the witness list, he's not, but should he? And can they change that at any moment if they decide to? And what this lady was saying too, talking about the whole, if they start questioning him on the financials, we already know about the financials. What more else? This is not a case for the financials. I get they're trying to prove motive, but like what else further, you know? I would love to see him take the stand though. Oh, I would love to see him take the stand. Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. I can never make a decision based off a poll because you know it's going to be 50-50.
To say a word about it since those charges are still pending. He could really narrow the scope. I'm thinking, what do you guys think?
Well, actually, it's interesting you bring that up because I've been thinking a lot about that. The financial crimes, like all the dirty laundry is in, right? So all the bad stuff, all the other acts. So theoretically, I think this almost pushes him to get up there and testify. He could plead the fifth on the financial.
He could. Maybe he could plead the fifth. By the way, on Court TV in their live stream, they're commenting saying, Court Insider, folks are starting to come back into the courtroom. They just posted that. So I guess it's going to start again. I guess we'll see.
Crimes, but also, Linda, it's my understanding that, you know, this financial crime stuff is pretty compelling. So even if he got up there, I mean, do you think he could possibly get up there just because, you know, the financial crimes seem to be a little bit of a slam dunk?
Read my lips.
Slam dunk.
Call your malpractice carrier if you put Alec Murdaugh on the stand in this case. The reason why he gave all those statements to police and the prosecutor played them is because he told his story, all right? He can only make it worse. And that's why the prosecutor is also playing into those questions about, well, you know, he knows the judicial system. He knows how to evoke emotion, right? In the possibility that Dick Harpootlian, who seems to be a really good defense attorney, decides to put him on the stand, or he decides he wants to go on the stand himself. Remember, that's the one decision a client can make in a trial. They ignore their client's advice and go on the stand. You know, he will be questioned on his ability to maneuver, manipulate, and lie in a courtroom. So read my lips. No way, if I'm his attorney, if I'm putting him on the stand, I don't care what he says.
I don't know. I think it could happen, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's his decision, right? So, and he was very open in talking to the police before, but I guess look what happened. So we have another question here from Twitter. Did the man that shot and grazed Alex's head already testify? Curtis Eddie Smith. I'll answer that really quickly. Dan, no, he didn't, but we think he will. From Twitter, Lauren Bachert. I hope I pronounced that properly. Has anyone performed a hypothetical reenactment of the events through ballistic trajectories? We haven't heard about that, Jonna. Do you think that the state did that?
No, I don't think they did that. I don't think they need to do that, and I don't think we're going to see that at all coming up.
Okay. Yeah. Julie Frew from Twitter. We got, actually, this is going to be really quick, Linda. We only have a minute left. In the case of evacuating the court building as they have now, what happens to the defendant? He was moved to a secure location. So I'll just take that one, Linda. From Twitter, when did Alex Murdaugh first start embezzling from the firm? How far back? Linda, correct me if I'm wrong, 2011, right?
Right. That's what we know about. There may have been other times, but we don't know. We haven't heard anything else.
Whoa.
Okay, so that's when they said it happened. We've really enjoyed taking your questions, and thanks for sticking with us through this whole bomb threat break.
Bomb threat. I'm paying my deposit for the apartment, which is on the lower end. Thank God, because of the credit that I've been working on, which I'm so happy and proud of. Been working on for a while to fix. So amazing. Jay Donata, thank you so much for the super chat and congratulate. Well, I don't know if that's kind of weird. Congratulations for sending me a super chat. I was gonna say celebrate the first super chat with Jay Donata. Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know about the congratulations, but don't listen to me. Congrats. These pictures, Mel, stop. I know, we got to get another one. I don't know what the next one's going to be. We got Teabag as the main, one of the main designers for the characters. But Mo did this one here too. She did a really good job. And I got the girls working on the merch site, the ladies working on the merch site, which I'm going to have to sit down with them and talk more and stuff. We'll figure some more things out. It's just the beginning. We just literally started last night. I think my favorite thing on there so far is, I think the hoodie. I'm definitely going to get something. I don't know which one first. I'm definitely going to go, I don't know. The hoodie's dope as shit. I gotta get the hoodie. And I got to send them more pictures, different pictures besides just having this one picture of myself. But this cup, I like this cup. Judge. I'm going to send it. I should send this to my mother to see what she thinks. She should trip out when she sees this shit. Melbing, what is this? What kind of is this? Melbing. We got the merch site coming through. And the good thing about the merch site is so the next time, if we do a trial or we're covering something for a prolonged period of time, we can have the merch faster on demand. And so, like for example, oh, here we go. Finally, back. Judged. Laura, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. Congrats on your apartment. I hope all goes well with it. Thank you. I'm really excited. Can't wait to go. Can't wait to go. Run. I'm going to run from here. The bikini thing, I'm not sure about my face being on there in the bottom. It is down. I mean, it's not a... It is down there, though. It is. Judge, please be seated. You may now be seated. Amazing.
You may bring the jury.
Run out of here. Get the hell. And then my landlord, I told him, which is a good friend of mine, I told him last night, and like he was like shocked. Like it was kind of awkward. He's the guy that like likes to walk by my window sometimes and like kind of always be walking around and looking and shit. And he kind of joked around. He's like, "Oh man, I can help you move and I can see where you're at." I'm like, all right, I'll pay somebody. No man, I can save you some money. Nah, I'll pay somebody, man. I'm good. I'm good. Like, don't be a stranger, man. He's a good guy though, but sometimes just so busy. It's like a lot, too much. For all that shit. Hey man, all right, bye. And we're just walking in, just trying to get in, not trying to stop.
The jury is present, sir.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're now ready to proceed, and counsel, you may proceed.
All right, Agent Udat, before we got interrupted there, I think you're explaining your duties. Let's just start there again.
Oh,
sure. Duties at SLED.
Udat.
In computer crimes, I'm responsible for examining digital evidence, be it cell phones, computers, vehicle infotainment systems. I also respond to network intrusion incidents, and I'm evidence custodian.
Okay. And in the course of your duties at SLED, did you have occasion to come into contact with a 2021 Chevrolet Suburban that was driven by the defendant on the night of the murders?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what What was your role with that vehicle? What did you do with that vehicle?
I was contacted about potentially removing the infotainment system for examination. However, it was unsupported by the tool I use. So I was asked to still remove said infotainment and OnStar systems to be sent off for further examination.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 444. Do you recognize that document, sir?
Yes, that's a SLED property receipt that I filled out with the information for the infotainment module and the OnStar module.
And is that the document you filled out when you removed that infotainment center?
Yes, it is.
And what else did you remove?
Infotainment module and an OnStar module.
And you just testified that SLED did not have any tools that gave you the ability to actually analyze those items. Is that correct?
Correct. The software I have access to, which as far as I know is basically the only software, it was unsupported by that at the time.
And do you know if even today that software supports this particular vehicle?
I don't believe it is.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you what's been marked for ID only at this point. Items 447 and 448. Let's see if you recognize those items. So,
Yes, I do. It's the infotainment module and the OnStar module.
okay. And those are those the items that you removed from that 2021 Suburban?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I'm going to ask you let's start with the entertainment center. I believe there is a serial number printed on that. Could you read that serial number on the infotainment center into the record, please?
432-031-217-0000-296.
Okay. And your exhibit 444, which is your paperwork you filled out when you removed it. Did you write that serial number on that paperwork?
Yes, I did.
All right. And you don't have to read it out loud again, but can you compare the serial number for the infotainment center on your property sheet with the serial number on that box and tell me if they match?
They do.
Okay. All right. And then what's the other item? 447, what is that?
The LG OnStar module.
Okay. And does that have a serial number somewhere on it?
It does, but I cannot read it in the bag.
Would you be able to do anything to help you read it? Is that, if we open it up, would it make it easier?
Yeah, if I could remove it.
All right. Do you have any knife on you that you can
I
open
do.
that up? And it looks like you're doing something else there. Just for the
It
record.
appears to be a Federal Bureau of Investigation evidence tape. That's actually right over the serial number, and the letters in federal are preventing me from reading it. So
Is it able?
I
can you peel it up a little
don't-
bit? If it's not possible, it's not possible.
it does not appear
Okay.
that's coming up.
All right, but could you read the, excuse me, on your property receipt, could you read the serial number on your property receipt for the OnStar?
Yes. It is 009 Victor India Echo Yankee 519052.
All right, and to the best of your knowledge, is the unit you're holding that exact unit you took out of that vehicle?
Yes, and for the letters and numbers of the serial number, I can see what I can see does match up.
All right. All right, at this time, say we move to introduce exhibit, the property receipt, 444 in evidence.
It's admitted.
Thank you. All right, and I'm going to show you what's been marked as the exhibit 445, 445. And let me see if you just recognize that document.
Yes, I do.
All right, and is that a document that you personally prepared?
No, it's not.
All right, but is that another property receipt?
Yes, it is.
And are those records that SLED, property receipts, are those records SLED keeps in the normal course of business?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize the name and signature of who did prepare that receipt?
Yes.
Who is that?
Lieutenant Britt Duff.
Okay. And what does that property receipt represent?
It appears to be representing that GM infotainment module and the LG OnStar module, changing custody for the purpose of providing to the FBI for examination.
And do you know how those two things were sent to the FBI?
I do not.
All right. And the serial number, the GM infotainment serial number. You don't have to read it again, but could you compare that to the serial number on the infotainment center?
They match.
Okay. And then I know you couldn't read the full serial number on the OnStar, but the letters that you can see, can you compare those with the serial number on the second property receipt?
For the ones I can see, they do match.
Okay. All right. And at this time, I'm going to move to introduce Exhibit 445 into evidence.
No objection. Admitted without objection.
All right. And at this time, I'm just going to move that items 447 and 448 be marked for ID only at this point.
You don't have to move for them to be marked for ID only.
Yes, sir. We're just going to mark them for ID only at this point. Nothing further for this witness here.
Anything by the defense?
No questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. Hey,
Your next witness.
who that?
City calls Dwight Falkowski.
All right. Trying to remember. Have we seen this guy before? Oh, Lord, what are you doing? Oh, look. He's just blowing out his nose. Rubbing a chemical on his face.
When you give David the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I will.
If you would, please, sir, be seated. State your name and then spell your last name. Put in, please. Excuse me.
My name is Dwight Falkowski. Last name spelled Falkofske.
All right, Mr. Falkowski, how are you doing this afternoon?
Doing good.
All right. Where are you employed, sir?
I am employed with the FBI.
Okay. And what is your job title there?
I'm an electronics engineer.
Okay. And what unit of the FBI are you employed in?
The Electronic Device Analysis Unit.
Okay. And what does the Electronic Device Analysis Unit do at the FBI?
We collect data off of cell phones and other mobile devices, and in my case, vehicle systems, mobile devices in general that can't be collected by commercial tools.
All right. And so the FBI has a unit dedicated to extracting data off certain devices that is otherwise unavailable. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And you kind of mentioned it, but specifically, what is your role in this unit?
I serve a role as an automotive forensic specialist.
Okay. And what does that entail?
A paid liar.
What does that mean?
So I take a look at automotive systems and extract data off the memory components of those systems. And then from the images we get from those memory components, I will take a look at there, find the data that we're interested in finding, and we will create parsing tools that will pull out that data and take it from a computer format to a human readable format.
Let's explain that a little more. You said a parsing tool. What is that? Explain that to the jury what that is, please.
Okay, so a parsing tool is, in this case, a computer script that I'm writing or I have written that will go in and look at the collected binary image, the flash memory image that I've created, and go in and either create a file system or just go raw into the binary and search for data that is of interest to us. This is data we've researched and found, and it'll take that data out of the system and again put it into a human readable format, text or graphics or coordinate points, so that we can understand it as humans.
And in its most basic format, data is stored how?
In binary.
And what does binary mean?
Binary is just zeros and ones, what a computer reads.
Okay. And a parsing tool, if I understood you correctly, it helps you take that binary information and translate it into information that you can read and understand. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. And have you, first of all, tell us a little bit about your background. What education and training have you had in this area?
I have a bachelor's of science degree in electrical engineering.
Okay.
And if you'll give me one moment, I have my CV here, and I'll list out training I've taken with the FBI. In August 2016, I took the Digital Evidence Management Systems training. That's to store data on our electronic evidence management system. In August 2016, I completed Digital Evidence Handling. October 2016, Legal Ethics Training. August 2017, CDART mentorship under FE. The CDART mentorship is an internal designation for, at the time, I was working as a contractor to the FBI, and this training allowed contractors to handle evidence, and that was the extent of that training. Also in August 2017, completed the CDART proficiency testing, and I've also testified as an expert witness in September 2019.
Okay, and what, do you recall, if not specifically, but generally, what were you qualified as an expert witness in 2019?
I don't recall the exact name they gave me for the expert witness, but I serve as, what I've told them, I serve as an electronics engineer, automotive forensics specialist.
Okay. And how would you best describe your expertise that you're going to talk about today? How would you personally describe it?
I take a look at automotive systems, and I go in there and find the data of interest. If I'll go into the types of data, would be things like connected devices, cell phones, thumb drives. From cell phones, that can also collect things like call records and contact lists, also navigation data, locations of the vehicle or destinations that the user may have entered in the system. I go find that data in these systems, and I will write these parsing tools that I've mentioned to go ahead and pull those out. That's generally the extent.
So would automotive forensic specialist be descriptive of what you do?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to enter Mr. Falkowski as an expert in the area of automotive forensic specialist.
No objection, Your Honor. He's so qualified.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's talk a little more about the mechanics of how you obtain this data and what you do. And just talking, not specifically in this case, but just kind of generally in your unit.
Okay.
What do you do? When you receive a device from a vehicle, first of all, what kind of devices do you receive from vehicles?
They tend to be an infotainment center, which can be basically the brains of the system that puts on some of these modern cars, that puts up the screen, that shows your music. If it's got navigation, it'll show navigation. It's the computer brain of that system.
Okay.
Also take a look at components such as the telematics box, which you'll hear about, like the OnStar module in this case. And those will tend to have connected device services and sometimes location data as well.
Okay. And just generally speaking, how do you access the information stored on these devices?
First thing we do is what we call data extraction, and data extraction involves basically going in and finding the flash memory components on this computer, the infotainment system or the telematics box, and we have different methods to extract that data. We have software methods. We have methods where we'll connect to the circuit board, or when sometimes we will just remove the chip and read it with a reader.
And let me stop you real quick. This jury has heard testimony about cell phone extractions and how cell phones are extracted. And you mentioned sometimes you can use a software method. How is that analogous to how cell phone data is normally obtained in an extraction?
If I can compare it to a commercial tool like Celebrite, a software solution would be something you could plug into the system while it's operating in order to get into the system and extract the data you need.
But some of these automotive devices are far more unique than an average cell phone, correct?
Yes.
And therefore, therefore, is there an off-the-shelf ready system that can access most vehicles?
No. There's one commercial company called Burla that does have a tool that is used in the field. However, we only accept the devices at EDAU for systems that there is no support for.
Okay. So you mentioned this company, Murdaugh, which does produce a commercially available software that can extract data from some vehicles, correct?
Some vehicles, yes.
But it does not support the 2021 Chevrolet Suburban, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And that's how the device ended up with you, correct?
That's correct.
All right. So I kind of stopped you there. And if a software solution isn't available, like Murdaugh, what are some of the other methods that you use to pull data off of some of these automotive systems?
I mentioned such as attaching wires to a circuit board and extracting data from the memory component, or also removing the chip from the board and putting it in a reader and reading the chip, the flash memory chip directly.
Okay. All right. Let's talk more about what you did in this case. When you attempted to access the data for the 2021 Suburban, did you encounter any problems?
Yes, we ran into our first instance of data being encrypted on a vehicle.
Okay. And that's not something you'd run into before?
Not on vehicles.
Okay. And briefly, explain to the jury what you mean by encrypted, please.
So when a system encrypts the data, it takes basically a code word such as called a key and scrambles the data using that key so that it can't be written unless you have that key. And the key will, to read it back, you require the key to unlock the data and see it back in its regular form.
Okay. And you discovered this data on this Chevy Suburban was encrypted, correct?
That's correct.
All right. I'm going to show you, they've been marked for ID only, 448 and 447. And I'm going to take a look at them and see if you recognize these items, please.
This is the OnStar module that I processed. And this is the infotainment system that I processed for the Suburban.
How do you know those are the units you processed?
We have an FBI identifier tag on here, and my personal identifier symbols are on here.
And that's on both of those devices?
On both units.
All right. At this time, State would move to enter exhibits.
Oh, don't worry, you only have 100 more
447 and
agents to go.
448 into evidence.
No objection.
Pop the bikini on.
All right, so let's talk about, you say when you initially tried to access the data on these, they were encrypted. Can you tell us what the FBI did or what you did to ultimately allow you to be able to access the information?
Involved our greater team to develop a tool that would be able to reach into a live system on one of these vehicles and extract the encryption keys and remove get the encryption keys so then we could decrypt the data that we had collected.
Okay, and was that process ultimately successful?
Yes, it was.
All right. And how long did that take?
Approximately 1 year.
Okay, all right. All right, and when you accessed this information and you finally had it decrypted, what types of information did you find? Let's start on the infotainment center. What types of information did you find on that?
Hell no, pop right
So
here.
the infotainment center contained connected devices, phones that have been linked by Bluetooth or USB, and associated with some of those devices were call logs and contact lists, and there was also a little bit of location data.
Okay. So you found some call logs, correct?
That's correct.
And how would that infotainment center get call logs? Explain that process. Why would they be on that center?
So a lot of cars that have Bluetooth connectivity will, when you connect the Bluetooth with them, sometimes they will ask you if you want to let the car connect to it or access your data on your phone. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't ask, but in most cases it'll ask you, and then at that point it'll take things like call logs and pull them from the phone into the computer, the infotainment system.
Okay. All right, and you found some call logs on this infotainment center, right? Correct?
Yes.
You found some do correct?
That's correct.
Do you recall if you found any from the date of June 7th of 2021?
Yes, there was data from that date.
Location data?
Oh, location data, no.
Okay.
There's not call data.
All right, you found some call data, you found some Bluetooth data, and what kind of Bluetooth data did you find for devices did you find?
It, primarily the Bluetooth address of the connecting device.
Okay. Did it provide you any information of when a device may have been connected to the infotainment center?
No, there was no timestamps with that data.
Okay. All right, but there's another thing, another type of data you found on this infotainment center, correct?
Angela, thank
Yes,
you.
we additionally looked for vehicle information regarding the state of the vehicle.
Explain to the jury, what does that mean?
So what we were looking for on this car was something to show if the car was moving, if doors were opened or closed, windows up and down. We searched for this type of data on this vehicle.
Okay. And did you find some of that data?
We did. We found what we call states of the vehicle, and in this case, it was more granular things, such as, and one of the ones we're interested in looking at is the shift lever going in and out of park, kind of giving an indication.
And we'll talk more about that in a minute, but
Okay.
Would you say that there was a lot of this vehicle status data that was
Yes,
stored?
this vehicle stores a voluminous amount of data in some logs.
And is the majority of it really useful when you
No.
try to okay. Did you attempt to pare down the data you're looking at to find potentially useful information?
Yes, we combed through the data and we looked for data that matched our testing of a similar vehicle or identical type vehicle to be able to identify messages in this log that can be attributed to the vehicle states.
Well, let's talk about that. You mentioned it. You said testing. What do you mean by testing? What did you guys do to test this?
We obtained a identical 2021 Suburban vehicle with the same build out.
Okay.
And we drove it multiple times and extracted data from it multiple times in a series of tests designed to try to understand what is going on inside the system.
Okay. So this is simple testing. So you go out and drive it, and you'd record, you knew when you're driving, so you could record times, correct?
We record times, locations, yes.
And then you could go back in and pull that data off the infotainment center of the test vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
And then you can compare that to the logs that you guys wrote saying we did this at this time, correct?
That's correct.
And you what could you do with that comparison? What did that help you with?
So that helped us identify in the logs laid out states, very granular states of.
When you say granular, and I apologize when I stop you, but I want to make sure we understand everything you're saying. When you say granular, what do you mean by that?
I'll explain a few of the states to give you an example.
Okay.
When the vehicle first, say you open the door and you see the screen turn on the car, that would be maybe one or two of the states that the system tells me it's waking up, a message saying it's waking up, then a message saying I'm showing my animation video on the screen as it starts to boot up, and then eventually, like if the car is being, and then other states of the car, such as the in and out of park, a lot of the states only mean something very small in the whole scheme of how the car is operating, at very specific little pieces of data.
Okay. And there's a lot of it, correct?
There's a lot of them.
And so you had to kind of figure out a way to kind of pare that data down into something that's useful for you to interpret, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And how did you do that?
Initially, we wrote a utility into our parser that would go through, first of all, and select all the messages we found of interest that indicated some sort of state of the vehicle. And then we attempted to take that data and put meaning to it. And it was a challenging process, let's put it that way.
But ultimately, do you feel like, at least for certain types of events, you're able to draw some conclusions about what was going on with the vehicle certain times?
Certain events were much more specific about certain of the things that were going on with the car, and were clearer.
And when you were asked, the question of, can you use any of this information to determine when a vehicle could potentially be moving? Is that something that you looked for in this data?
We were looking for that data. We found something close to that data.
Okay. And in your testing and analysis, what did you determine would be the best indicator to you, looking at the data, of when the vehicle is moving?
The message indicating whether the car was in park or out of park.
Okay. And so you found a reliable indicator in your opinion, indicates the vehicle would likely or possibly be moving, correct?
That's correct.
Now, all you said was this particular message says it's either in park or out of park, correct?
That's all it says.
And it doesn't necessarily say whether it's in drive, correct?
That's right. I don't know what gear it's in.
Okay. But you can tell when it's out of park.
Correct.
And can you tell from that whether the vehicle is actually physically moving?
I cannot.
Okay. I am. And at the end of this analysis, did you prepare data and a parser report to send to SLED at the end of your analysis?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 443. I'm going to see if you recognize that.
Yes, this is a copy that I validated earlier today against the original evidence that was submitted.
So that contains the information you provided SLED, correct?
That's correct.
And generally speaking, what is contained on this CD?
It is the our unit's derivative evidence results of what was extracted and reported for both the OnStar module and the infotainment system.
Okay. All right. And so this provides both, we said there's voluminous raw data that came out of this vehicle, correct?
Yes.
And it includes a full copy of that, right?
There is.
But also includes a report that kind of pares that down into more useful information to you, correct?
Yes.
And what did you call that report again? Was it the HTML report?
Oh, the format was in HTML, so you could open it with a browser, yes.
And what tool did you use to help you prepare that condensed report?
That was the parsing tool that developed that.
And that's what you talked to about at the beginning of your testimony with the jury, and that's a way to use software to help pare down the data into something useful, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. At this time, State would move to enter Exhibit 443.
No objection. Submitted.
I'm going to show you it's been marked as Exhibit 449, and just describe what that is to the jury, please.
Okay, this is a spreadsheet that basically shows many of the states of the vehicle that we were looking at in testing the test and running our tests on the test vehicle. This is an analysis of the states that were on there, and this is what we were using to develop the understanding of what these states meant.
Okay. And so what would be a shorter way to describe that, a more simple way to describe that?
It's an analysis of the state machine.
Okay. Would it
The
be,
vehicle states.
okay. This would represent some of the research that you and your team.
That is research. Yeah, that's a research document.
Okay. At this time, State would move Exhibit 449.
No objection. Submitted.
All right. And we talked about call logs, and you found some call logs, correct?
Yes.
On this vehicle. And where did those call logs come from again?
They were stored within the infotainment system.
Right. And where did the infotainment system get them?
From an attached phone.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 446. And let me see if you recognize that document and where it's from.
Yes, these were call logs that we recovered off the infotainment system.
Okay. And those are two specific calls, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And what are the date and time of those two calls?
The first one, June 7th, 2021 at 22:06:14.
And what was the number dialed on that one?
9111.
Okay, 3 ones, okay.
And then another one shortly thereafter at 220618, a couple seconds later, for just 911.
And in your research and testing, can you determine of when these call logs would have been pulled off the phone that made these calls?
No, at some point, the system would have downloaded that information from the phone. I don't know what time that occurred.
Okay, all right. And at this time, I would move Exhibit 446.
No objection.
So admitted.
All right. All right, and I'm going to show you what I believe is our last document. And this is Exhibit 442, and I'm going to ask if you recognize this document.
Yes.
And what is that document?
I've titled this document the 2021 Chevy Suburban Log File Excerpts from June 7th, 2021.
All right. And is this a condensed version of data from that original, that CD that we showed you a minute ago?
Yes.
Okay. And what is that condensed to? Why did you condense it to that particular data for this particular printout?
This spreadsheet was the data that our parsing tool was looking for amongst all the log files and extracting those out.
We talked about this a minute ago, but if you're trying to determine when this vehicle moved, you identified a key indicator. When the vehicle may have possibly moved, you identified a key indicator in that data that would indicate to you, in your opinion, that the vehicle could have possibly been moving, correct?
That's correct. In or out of park.
Okay. And when you produced that report, did you color code certain columns?
Yes, I hand-colored the columns on here that indicated those for clarity.
And I think I meant to say rows because they're horizontal.
They're rows,
correct?
yes.
My apologies. And you color-coded certain ones, right?
That's correct.
Okay. At this time, state we move to enter Exhibit 442.
No objection.
It's admitted.
We're going to publish this. And I'll need the computer, please. Yeah. It's got to boot up. My apologies. Okay. So we'll keep moving. I'm going to need that exhibit back, please. And we're going to switch to Elmo. Once we get the computer going, it'll give a better view, but for the moment, we'll look at the Elmo. Okay. Can you read that document on your screen, Mr. Courthouse?
I think I could read that.
Okay. So let's just start at the top. And I think you read the title, this 2021 Chevy Suburban Log Files, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And then we see a row below that that looks like descriptors, correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, let's just start on the left. Let's explain what these mean. And we see on the far left it says line and then a number symbol or hashtag. What does that mean?
Okay, I'm going to explain that using the next column over file name first. The file name indicates the particular log file that the data was recovered from. There was numbered log files in the system. And for this date, there were 2 different log files that contain this data. And the line number indicates the physical or the actual line number starting from 1 at the top that data was located on.
Okay. And then we see the date next to that. And what is that again, specifically, that date and time?
That is the timestamp of the actual log entry.
All right. Let's switch to the computer, please. And this will make this a little bit easier to see, hopefully. Well, if I can get to... Okay, and I think I'm at the top. All right, can you still, is that a little better for you to see? Mr.
I can see it fine.
Okay. All right, it looks like somehow I managed to mess up the spreadsheet. My apologies. All right, so event type. What does event type mean?
Basically, the event type is a part of the log entry that describes what sort of event is going on. It describes the event.
Okay. Event description, what does that mean?
It's just a longer, more verbose version of the event type.
And event value, what does that mean?
That is the actual value of the event, rather than this is the event and this is what its value is.
Okay. When you say value, what do you mean by that?
It can be a 1, a 0, a true, a false, or a textual indicator of the system state.
All right. And you say 1 or 0, true or false. You mentioned a while ago that data is always binary, right?
Yes.
And binary is always 1 or 0, correct?
In case a lot of these are 1 and 0.
Okay. And that's how data is typically stored in computer systems,
Typically,
correct?
yeah.
Okay. All right. So finally, on the far right, it says raw line from service log file. What does that mean?
That is actual line from the file copied verbatim.
Okay. And so that's the actual data log that you pulled out of the system?
That is correct.
Okay. And it includes a timestamp as well, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Okay, so let's just look at the top here. And you said you added in some color coding, correct?
That's correct.
And the top line appears to be red. That's 83, 84, correct?
Yes.
And 86, 76 is also red, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Why did you color code those red? What is that?
Those were basically messages that were showing the system starting up. The computer for the infotainment system initiated a boot sequence.
All right. And did your testing identify a number of ways the system on this vehicle could start up?
We observed it starting up with several ways.
Okay.
I don't think we know all the ways it may start up.
Okay. Well, what are some of the ways you observed that it could start up?
Just things such as opening the door of the vehicle or getting in the vehicle and turning it on.
Okay. And when we say system startup, we mean the infotainment center.
This is referring to the infotainment center, not the whole vehicle.
Okay. So it's not necessarily we're turning the vehicle on every time we see a red color there, correct?
That's correct. Just the infotainment system.
It could be someone just opening the door, correct?
Yep.
All right. And that represents, in some cases, where the screen in that car just kind of lights up if the door opens or for another reason, correct?
That would be an indicator, yes.
And are there certain occasions where the system can kind of start up on its own?
There's some unexplained times when the system seems to initiate a boot for no apparent reason. It's theoretical on what the car is doing at that point.
Okay. All right. And then below that, at line 9142 and 9144, it looks like you color-coded those two lines as blue, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And why did you color-code those lines as blue?
Those indicated these vehicle parked message that we found to be very useful in determining potentially the car moving.
Okay. And this is something that you found in your testing and analysis, correct?
That's correct.
That was reliable?
This is a reliable message.
All right. And it reliably means what?
It reliably tells you whether the car was shifted into park or shifted out of park.
Okay. All right. And looks like lines 9142 and 9144 both occurred at 12/21/43 on June 7th of 2021. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And is that local time?
That is local time.
All right. And what does that mean? What does vehicle parked true mean?
Vehicle park true means the shift lever of the vehicle was placed into the park position.
Okay, so the vehicle was shifted into park.
That's correct.
All right. But I see it looks like the exact same message on both lines, correct?
That's correct.
Why do we have the exact same message on both lines?
If you take a look, scroll to the right on the one that's showing the raw values, you'll see that the messages are not identical. They're from two pieces of the subsystem reporting the same event.
Okay, so this particular log and maybe some other ones get recorded in different places on this infotainment center.
There's a lot of duplication of messages.
Okay. And they don't, if they had the same timestamp, how would you interpret that if you see duplicate messages with the exact same timestamp?
I would typically consider that just a single event.
Okay, and so let's look down below that, and I see multiple things happening, and I'm highlighting it, on lines 9148 to 9156 at 12:33 and 23 seconds, and I see a number of things happen there with the same timestamp, correct?
That's correct.
And in your analysis, in your opinion, when you see a group of messages happening at the same time, what's the best way to interpret that information?
You have to kind of take a look at them as an aggregate.
Okay. And so you kind of look at all these messages as a whole to interpret what they mean, correct?
That's correct.
Rather than each one individually.
That's correct.
Okay. So let's look at it. Looking at lines 9148 and all those lines that are timestamped identically, which goes down to line 9159, what does that group of messages, in your opinion, mean was happening on this vehicle at that time on June 7th of 2021?
It looked like the infotainment computer was beginning a power down sequence.
Okay. Okay, and we go down to 1242, and we see a few lines in 9167, 9459, and 9716. We see a few of those red color-coded lines, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and again, what does that mean? Why are those coded that way?
The infotainment system initiated a boot up sequence starting up.
Okay, but any number of reasons of why that would have potentially booted up at that time?
Yeah, it could be a number of reasons.
Okay. All right, but then at 9954 and 9956, we see some blue color-coded messages, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and what do those mean? It says vehicle park false. What does that mean?
Vehicle parked false means the car was shifted out of park.
Okay, and that's at what time?
18:23:57.
All right, help us out. What's that in civilian time?
6:23:57
PM?
p.m.
On what date?
On June 7th, 2021.
And again, we see two identical messages, correct?
Yes.
But you would interpret that as one event, correct?
Yes.
And what is that event again?
It's a vehicle taken out of park.
Okay.
Oh, la.
Okay, and we see a few things happen. Looks like 1853 and 1911. Some of those red color coded. What's your interpretation for lines? Looks like 396 and 984 on June 7th. There, what's going on in those lines?
It's another infotainment system boot up, a startup sequence.
Okay, and then we see another red event at 2103:44, correct?
Yes.
And what is that?
Another boot up sequence.
Okay. And from any number of reasons, correct?
Correct.
Could be if someone just opened the car door, correct?
Yes.
And then we see a group of messages. Looks like a few at 2104:05, and then a few at 2104:18. Quite a few more at 2104:18, and that's 9:04 p.m. Correct?
That is correct.
All right, and that group of messages at 9:04:18 p.m. What, in the aggregate, what is that telling you is going on with this vehicle at that time?
One moment.
I have the times highlighted there.
Yeah, at the 21:04:18, those ones looked like the system was, but prior to that, it seemed to be shutting down, and then it stopped and started coming back up.
Okay. And so it seems to be starting up around 21:04:18, correct?
Yes.
And that'd be consistent with that red coded message we saw a second ago, correct?
Yes.
And it's also consistent with the red coded message at line 1281 at 21:05:56, correct?
What do you mean by consistent with that message?
I'm sorry. Take a look at line 1281. You see that?
Yes, I see 1281. That's the next system startup message.
Okay. And what time is that again?
21:05:56.
All right. And I'm going to do my best, and I'll try to stop you. Let's try to talk in local time.
Okay.
Or civilian time, excuse me.
I'll start processing it that way.
And I make that mistake too.
Did I
What
miss
time
good
is
stuff?
that? in
Is there
civilian
something
time?
valuable that I missed?
That
What's
would
going
be 9:05:56
PM
p.m.
on June 7th?
on June 7th,
2021?
2021.
What's the point? This guy, let me take a look at the highlights.
Okay, and then below that,
Okay.
we see a group of messages starting at line 1557, and they have an identical time state of what?
9:06 and 44 seconds.
Okay. PM?
PM.
All right. And what is that group of messages telling you at that time?
That looks like the vehicle system is continuing its power-up process.
Okay. All right. And then we see a series of messages that all occur within 2 or 3 seconds, starting at line 1591 at 9:06:48 p.m., and then continuing on through 9:06:49 p.m., and quite a few at 9:06:49 p.m., and then into 9:06:50 p.m., and that's lines roughly 1628 down to 1654. What does that group of messages tell you is occurring?
So at that point, part way through those message sets, it actually has an engine running event, so the car has been turned on.
Okay, so in your opinion, the vehicle is running at approximately 9:06:49 to 9:06:50 p.m.?
Yes,
Okay, on June 7th?
yes.
All right, and then we see at line 1670 and 1672, it looks like another couple of blue-colored messages, correct?
Yes.
And again, what are those blue-colored messages? What do they indicate to you?
The vehicle park message.
All right, and it says vehicle parked false. What does that mean?
The vehicle was taken out of park.
Okay, the vehicle was taken out of park at 9:06 and 50 seconds, correct? PM?
Correct.
All right. On June 7th, correct?
Correct.
All right, and if we look at it on line 1672, the timestamp it has a slightly different color stamp. I don't know if is that viewable on your screen? Yeah. It looks like it's colored more green, correct?
That is correct.
Why did you color that particular block green at line 1672?
I was highlighting events where you could see where the vehicle was taken out of park, and it looks like it was continually used and then put back into park.
Okay. And so, first of all, those two lines at 1670 and 1672, they represent the same event?
They are the same event.
Okay, and that's the vehicle taken out of park, correct?
That's correct.
And you color-coded that green because you wanted to find when the vehicle was put back into park, correct?
Correct. I want to find, yes.
Okay. Because you, in your opinion and your analysis, you've determined that that message is pretty reliable and something we can rely upon to make a determination of when that vehicle could have been moving, correct?
Correct.
All right. Okay, so 9:06:50 p.m., the vehicle is taken out of park. And then let's go down the line, 1904 or 1904, and we see another green stamp embedded in a blue line. Do you see that, sir?
Yes.
And what does that mean to you?
Well, it was the next event where the vehicle went back into park.
Okay. So at what time is that?
At 9:22 and 45 seconds p.m.
Vehicle's put back into park, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And in your opinion, could the vehicle have been moving between those two times?
Yes, it could have. I have no evidence of that.
Okay, all right. But the vehicle's out of park for that?
It is out of park.
Okay, and that's something, in your opinion, we can rely upon, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And roughly, I'm not going to ask you for exact seconds, roughly how much time passes between the vehicle taking out of park at line 1672 and put back into park at line 1904?
Approximately 16 minutes.
Okay.
Are they trying to 922 vehicles put into park to drive to his mom's? I hope that they just
scroll down.
say this in layman's terms after all this shenanigan shit.
And I'm scroll down to line 3059. and 3061. And I see some more green colored blocks here, correct?
Yes.
All right. And what are those blocks? What information is contained in those blocks? What messages?
Again, it's the vehicle in or out of park messages.
Okay. And so, and what time is that? Those two messages at 3061?
3061 shows 9:43:05
PM?
PM.
And that's June 7th,
June
correct?
7th, 2021.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but at that particular event, what happens with the vehicle?
The vehicle goes out of park.
Okay. And then the next line below that, what's the time on that, the date time on that?
9:43 and 59 seconds, June 7th, 2021. That's PM.
Okay. And what happens with the vehicle?
It goes back into park.
Okay. And so roughly how much time passed between those two events?
It looks like just under a minute.
Okay. And you can't tell us whether the vehicle actually moved during that time, correct?
No.
All right. All you can tell us was it was out of park for a little under a minute.
Yes.
All right, and not to put you on the spot, we'll go back up and look real quick. So that's at 9:43:05 PM, correct?
Correct.
Let's go back and look at the previous vehicle parked at 9:22:45 PM, and that's line 1904. That's when the vehicle had been placed in the park, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and let's just do some rough math. Do you have a pen? You can write it down if you need to. 9:22:45, the vehicle's in park.
Okay.
9:43:05, the vehicle is now back out of park, correct?
That's correct.
Roughly how much time passes between those two events?
Approximately 21 minutes.
All right, and so the vehicle is out of park for about a minute at lines 3061 and 3079. And then let's scroll down to line 3096 and 3310. What happens with the vehicle there?
The vehicle goes out of park
Okay, at what time?
at 9:44:54 seconds on June 7th, 2021. That's PM.
Okay. And then the next event below that, what occurs there?
Next event is the vehicle goes back into park at, that would be 10 o'clock and 36 seconds
Okay.
on June 7th, 2021 PM.
And those are color-coded green because they kind of represent a matching pair, correct?
That's correct.
Of when it went out and when it went back into park, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And roughly, how much time passes between those two events at 9:44 and 10 o'clock of the night of June 7th?
Approximately 16 minutes.
Okay. All right. And then let's go down to lines 3327 and 3328. And those are two more green colored events that represent that matching pair, correct?
That's correct.
Vehicle out of park and the vehicle in park, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And what are the times associated with those two events?
The vehicle goes out of park at 10:01 and 17 seconds on June 7th, 2021. That's PM. And it goes back into park at 10:01, 29 seconds on June 7th, 2021
Okay.
PM.
And roughly speaking, how many seconds is that?
About 12 seconds.
Okay. Okay, let's go to just a few seconds later, lines 3336 and 3340, and we see another matching pair of these green messages, correct?
That's correct.
Out of park and then back into park, correct?
That's correct.
And what are the two times on that particular event?
The vehicle goes out of park at 10:01 and 30 seconds on June 7th, 2021. That's PM. And it goes back into park at 10:01 and 43 seconds, June 7th.
So maybe I can do the math this time. That's roughly about 13 seconds it's out of park?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, and We see a whole bunch of messages again, that a group of messages starting at 22:04:44 and kind of going on until 10:04:44 p.m. and 10:04:47 p.m. We see another group of messages. What does that group of messages generally indicate to you in the aggregate? And that's this group I'll highlight.
Okay. 3 to 2, engine run false. It looks like the system is powering down.
Okay. Okay, and then we get down to lines 3464, and that shows another green color-coded pair of messages, correct?
That's correct.
And again, goes out of park and back into park, correct?
That's correct.
And what are the two times associated with those two messages at 3664 and 3682?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what are those times?
Oh, what are the times?
Yeah.
10:04 and 49, it goes out of park. That's PM on June 7th, 2021. And it goes back into park at 10:05, 55 seconds PM, June 7th, 2021.
All right, and that's roughly more than a minute, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and then let's go down to lines 3490 and 3504. And we see another matching pair in out of park and then into park, correct?
That's correct.
And what are the times associated with those two?
The vehicle goes out of park at 10:11 and 45 seconds on June 7th, 2021 PM. And then it goes back into park at 10:12 and 38 seconds PM, June 7th, 2021.
Okay. All right, and that's roughly just under a minute or so?
That's correct.
All right. And we're almost to the end here. Okay, and then we see another message. So first of all, we see some messages that are blue colored at 3506 through 3515. And why are those blue coded instead of green coded for you?
Those are more vehicle park messages, but they appear to be with the, basically duplications of the existing ones.
Okay. So that's just duplicate information, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And then finally, at line 3521, we see the vehicle. What happens with the vehicle at that line?
Okay, it goes out of park at 10:13 and 39 seconds PM on June 7th, 2021.
Did you find a matching kind of pair as we've talked about for when the vehicle goes back into park?
No.
All right.
No log message was present for that.
Okay. Can you explain why that log message may not be present?
We found during the testing of our test vehicle that there are times when the system decides to temporarily stop recording message. The reason is not clear.
Okay. But you do see it come out of park at 10:13:39, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Now, and just to reiterate this, you're just telling us when this vehicle's in and out of park, correct?
That's correct.
Because that's the most reliable piece of information you've been able to deem from this data, correct?
That's correct.
And you can't tell us necessarily where the vehicle's moving, correct?
That's correct.
And you can't tell us if it's moving, or if you see it go out of park, who's shifting the actual gear knob, can you?
No, we don't know who's in the car.
And all you can look at is this particular data, correct?
That's correct.
All right.
I'm collecting the timeline information and trying to put it together chronologically so we can try to make some sense of this.
And just
So
so it's clear,
I'm pretty lost. Some
you know,
people,
you-
I think,
you've
are getting it.
determined-
I'm lost.
You're interpreting this data because you use a test vehicle to see when you see these messages, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And that's why you're giving us these opinions today, correct? From
That's
your
correct.
testing. All right. And when you were using your test vehicle, if you took a vehicle if you took the vehicle out and drove it, took it out of park, drove it, and then put it back into park, would you find that exact same matching pair of in and out of park messages we just talked through? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you weren't able to determine any other data that would reliably tell you if it was moving or not, correct?
That's correct.
All right. But, so if the vehicle's driving and you see that, you would see that identical pair of messages like we just talked about.
Yes.
And however, if the car's just stopped and someone shifts it out of park and just sits there with their foot on the brake, and then sometime later puts it back into park, would you see that same matching pair of in park, out of park message and back into park message?
Yes.
You would, okay. All right.
Hard to follow, bro.
Not for mistake, this witness.
I'll try to get to this little timeline thing after. Shit confusing as hell, bro. And I really think that after all that, they should maybe shouldn't the prosecution try to maybe clear it up, maybe make sure, go through it again, maybe? Or I guess they can't lead the witness, but I wonder if the jury had any hard time following that, or were they able to follow that? I mean, I got up and walked away for a bit, but you literally have to, like, write the shit down. Are they writing it down? Should I give them all a call on the break? I think it...
Stand for a moment.
Bruh, this shit over here, I'm trying to keep up, bro. The hell did? Laura, thank you again so much for the super chat. Kiss the cool mom, thank you for the super chat. Says bomb threats in schools and courts. China balloon question mark. Shit, who knows? K5, thank you for the 16-month membership. Wow, red check. Woo, 16 months, bro. Love you. Thank you so much. Damn, 16 months. Ride or die. Angel Cook, thank you for the super chat. Says congratulations on finding your new home. I'm so excited, man. I'm stoked to get the heck out of here. It's almost as exciting as when I dropped Comcast and I got AT&T fiber optic. Bruh, that was a bottle popping worthy moment. May it be everything you hope for and more. Thank you. Trish, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Says congrats on the new place, Mel. Thank you for all you do. Thank you guys. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys' support. You guys make it possible. So thank you for the memberships or just hanging out and watching, subscribing, liking. Terra Pink, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Rescue Reaper, thank you for the super chat. Says what we ate. Wait, what are we gonna do when the trial is over and we don't see every day, all day Mel? Thanks for covering and making us laugh. I'll probably still be here pretty frequently, but
good afternoon, sir.
Maybe not 8 hours. We'll have to find the next trial.
I won't. Hopefully, this won't take long. Just a few clarifying questions. First, you mentioned that the data was encrypted.
Yes, when we pulled the data off the chip, it was encrypted.
Is this something that the manufacturer did?
Yes.
Okay. It's not something that the end user doesn't do something to encrypt the data. It comes that way.
Not for an infotainment system, no.
And so it sounded like you kind of had to reverse engineer with a test vehicle to figure out the meaning of stuff. Were you not able to get General Motors to assist with that?
We could, but we generally try to find the data on our own. Often we have it's difficult for us to get the manufacturers to work with us on that data.
Did anyone attempt to reach out to General Motors, say to de-encrypt the data?
Not from EDAU.
I won't go over this spreadsheet too much. You still have the exhibit with you?
I have a copy.
Okay. And we didn't have a...
We can pull that.
I mean, it might be beneficial for the defense not to even clear shit up. Everybody's confused. Let that shit ride. Good. Nobody understood it. Good. Keep moving. That shit ride. Confused everybody. Good.
Is it up?
No, they should try to poke as much holes, I guess. But I'm gonna try to. We'll try to go over the timeline. I'm lost. I don't know if they're trying to say.
I wanted to ask you just briefly about. If I can find it on this. There were some things that were happening at 9:03.
Tiffany. Please don't go over this shit.
21:03.
Shay Laughter, how you doing? Car chases. I know we haven't really been getting much, really. I barely bat an eye when a chase comes on. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool.
And 904. I didn't quite understand, what do these mean? This group of things that say info state, sleep, then state, some abbreviation, animate, all these things happening in this 904, 905 range. What does that mean?
So as I was attempting to explain before, that some of these messages, like individually, they don't mean a whole lot. Like, what does this actually mean? But in this case, it's generally showing. Could you scroll down just a little bit more so I could see a few more of the messages?
He's confused too. I don't know what this shit is.
So it looks like initially, like at line number 984, where the system initially boots up, and then at 904.
Well, let me stop you there.
I'm
When
sorry.
you say system startup, what does that mean? What is the system and what is it doing when it starts up?
So this is just the computer for the infotainment center. This is not the entire vehicle, but something woke up that system. And just like your home computer, it needs to boot up before Windows is ready. That's a similar thing that has a boot up sequence. This is a log that says that was initiated.
Okay. And what would trigger this? What would make this startup happen?
We know that some events that make it happen, such as opening the door or just starting the car, we don't know all the events that might make that happen.
Well, on my Chevy, if you walk near it with the key fob, the lights come on the little door handles. You can stick your foot under the rear and the rear will come up. Would walking near it with the key fob trigger anything?
It's a possibility, but we did not investigate that.
But scrolling down here to 906 and 48 seconds, am I reading this correctly to say that the engine was turned on?
Can you scroll down just a little bit further? Keep going just a little bit more.
And there's more, too.
So if you see that there was at one point there was messages such engine run false, which is only within the same second as a following up on engine running true. It's messages like this that get a little bit confusing on there, but ultimately it's basically saying, here I'm at, but I'm moving to this state here. So in that case, it looked like the engine started running at this time.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'll belabor this spreadsheet anymore, but I did want to ask, did you additionally retrieve data related to the phone connecting to the entertainment system? I think there was the 911 call that you...
We had a call log that was extracted, as well as the connection of a Bluetooth, or several Bluetooth devices.
I'm going to hand you a printout. Is this a printout of device connection history that you were able to obtain from the vehicle?
I didn't even want to touch that shit. Let them stay confused.
We need to go back to the original material and take a look at this, because some of this looks more than like what we originally collected. There's pages of this here.
But it goes back way outside of sort of the time frame, but that's... I mean, can you identify this?
I mean, the format looks familiar, but it looks... I might have to go back into the original material and pull up the HTML report. Is that acceptable?
Absolutely.
And it fits his story, you think, Mo? 906.
And Your Honor, I think the witness is asking to look at his original data to validate what Mr. Barber has. State has no objection to that. Well, we'll just need a few minutes for him to validate it.
No objection, Your Honor, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have you go to the jury room for a short break, hopefully.
This guy like, oh, bro. Does this help the prosecution at all? Or is this, we're going to go over it in a second here. I'm just waiting. I don't know if they're going to take a break or they're going to dispute something here. Waiting for an actual break. We can read over it together. Mo said that she believes it falls within his story timeline. And I think this article that I'm looking at that has the notes as well. The prosecution has built a timeline based on whether the car is in park mode or not. That timeline appears to match with a version of events from the night of the murders. With a version of events. Which version of events? So they're taking a break. So let's go through this, I guess. I'm like, I don't even want to go through this shit, but we should call Mo too after this. What did you interpret, Mo? The data shows that at 9:04 p.m. on June 7, 2021, the system began starting up again. There are more data points at 9:05:56 p.m., continuing for approximately 1 minute. The car's engine is now running. The vehicle is taken out of park mode at 9:06. The vehicle went back into park mode at 9:22. So this would be, I wonder if I should get on the phone with Mo. Let me try to look at what she sent. Yeah, drives to mom's house. I can compare what she sent and what they're saying. Okay, so 9:06 to 9:22 is going to mama's house. Vehicle goes back into park mode at 9:22. It could have been moving between these two timestamps, but there's no direct evidence from that data for that. From the data for that, there's a 16-minute gap between these two events. At 9:43, drives to mom's, arrives. The vehicle goes into park mode again. It goes back into park mode. Just under a minute has elapsed. At 9:44. At 9:44, the vehicle goes back into park mode and then goes back out of park mode and then goes back into park mode at 10 p.m. Like almost 16 minute gap. The vehicle goes back out of park mode. It goes back into park mode at 10 p.m. There's approximately a gap of 16 minutes. There is another pair of events a moment later with the vehicle going in and out of park mode over 12 seconds around 10:01 p.m. Seconds later, there's another pair of events in which the vehicle is out of park mode for 13 seconds. 10:04, it's out of park mode. 10:05, back into park mode. Approximately 1 minute. 10:11, out of park mode. 10:12, back into park mode. 10:13, goes back into park mode. There's no corresponding data point showing the car going back into park mode. The timeline appears to match with a version of events from the night of the murders. So does this correspond with Homeboy's story? Mo here says 9:06 to 9:22, drives to mom's house. 9:44 to 10 p.m. arrives home. 10:04 sees no one is home. Finds scene, calls 911. Drives to house to get gun. 10:11. But what? Except the dog video, except the nap/dog video. Yeah. This just confused the fuck out of me. I don't know. Because, yeah, we got to take into account the Snapchat video, the story that he was sleeping and he wasn't, or whatever. The whole thing with Shelly said that he was there for like what, 15, 20 minutes or something like that. And I suppose he told her that she was there for 30 to 40. But he doesn't look like he was anywhere for 30 to 40 minutes. Let me call Mo real quick. What's her interpretation? And I'm really wondering what the jury's thinking about this shit. And like nobody tried to clean it up or clear it up either. They just went through a whole bunch of like in park, out of park, in park, out of park. But like nobody even really, to me, it's like nobody even tried to like, and this is what we're getting to, or this is what they just went through a bunch of timestamps. Am I tripping? Let me call the virtual juror. Is this the right number? Hi. You're
Hello,
on air.
1,975 people.
What's up, Mo?
Hello.
So you're our virtual juror. You're
Yes.
you're looking at it through the eyes, pretending you're a jury, not trying to take into account any outside information.
Exactly, which is why I have to mute you during breaks because you play Nancy.
I know. What did you take from that? This thing right now.
So, first of all, if I was an actual juror, I would not be able to be taking notes right now. I would be totally lost.
Right.
So, the problem that I have with the prosecution, hello everybody. The problem that I have with the prosecution is that they bring in so much information that it's so hard to retain, and unfortunately, it might be throwing the jury off. I don't understand. They have not made a connection, first of all, with the financial stuff at all. So I don't know. It's like, I get it. He's a sleazy lawyer. He stole money, but what does it have to do with Paul and Maggie?
Somebody said this jury isn't allowed to take notes. Is that true? I remember when I was a jury, in Florida, we got a notepad. I don't know about this case, but
I have heard from multiple lawyers that this particular jury does not take notes.
Wow. Good luck. What?
Right.
Wait.
So
hold on. Let's clarify that though. They're choosing not to take notes, or they're not allowed to take notes?
I don't think they are allowed to take notes.
Wow. Why?
Why? I don't know. Sorry, hold on. I have a delivery.
Oh.
It's my vape juice. Thank you. Okay.
Debbie said you don't find out. Debbie says you don't. So explain to Debbie in the chat. What did you get from all that timestamps? But go ahead, Mo. Yeah, tell me. So what did you think?
So as far as what I heard, and granted, this is me taking notes, which I would not be doing if I was an actual juror. Let me pull up what I sent you. Hold on a second. So what I heard was 9:06. He turns on the car. He drives to Mom's house. They said that that's roughly about a 16-minute drive. I've looked at it on Google, and it takes 19 minutes. So it looks like he may have been speeding. Or it's just that's what Google says, and he's able to get there quicker. Then he's at his mom's house for roughly 20 minutes, 21, 22 minutes. But the part that's confusing is...
Where do you get him being at the mom's house for 20-some minutes? At what time?
Because he arrives at his mom's house at 9:22, or he arrives somewhere and puts the car in park at 9:22. We know for a fact that he did go to his mom's house. Okay. So I'm seeing mom's house at 9:22, and then it says he gets back into his car, or someone gets back into his car, and it turns on for approximately a minute at 9:43, but then turns back on at 9:44. This could be a number of reasons. But the point is, it looks like he left his mom's house, or at least the property, at 9:44 and drove back home. Now, granted, we don't know what happened between 9:43 and 9:44. He could have driven somewhere within the property and done something. But
okay, what time?
Between 9:44 and 9:43, that minute, that weird minute of like
okay.
the car was turned on and then turned off and then turned on again.
Right.
I'm just saying, this guy, 54 years old, 7'8". He seems to be moving pretty fast for a guy in this type of description. So then 9:44 to 10 o'clock, he arrives home. I'm assuming home because he called 911 and 911 knows that he was at home. So 9:44 to 10 o'clock, arrives home. He goes inside, sees nobody's there. Then he gets back into his car at 10:04. And it seems like this is when he goes down to the kennels, which is when he finds the scene. And then as we know from 911, the phone call to 911 was around 10:06. Now, I got very confused as far as like the two different calls to 911. I don't know what they were talking about. All I could assume was there's times where I call and it's still connected to the Bluetooth, and then I have to disconnect and then whatever, and then call back on my actual phone. So I don't know if it was something like that or if it was, I don't know. But either way, we know for a fact he called 911 at 10:06.
Okay.
Then
they're back, Bo.
Oh.
All right, we'll talk then. I appreciate you giving me some of your thoughts on that.
It's fitting the story in
Bring
my
the
mind.
jury.
Okay. Do you think it coincides with his thing or the prosecution?
This sounds like it coincides with his story, but I don't know about prior to that.
Okay. All right, thanks, Bo.
The metadata for the dog video. Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So Debbie says she understands she's not lost. Mo says she's somewhat followed it. It seems like she somewhat followed it. I'm lost. I somewhat get it, but without any kind of explainer. And then I didn't. So apparently people are saying the judge said they can't take notes. So they're just winging it off the top of their head. I mean, I know at the end when they do deliberations, they can call in exhibits and video and whatever else, but that's just so odd to me. And then I saw somebody else in the chat saying, well, in closing arguments, they'll clear it up or whatever. It's all going to come together. I hope so. The heck? Kit Ren, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the support on the channel. Thank you so much. SW4x4, thank you very much too. I need short explaining the Mel with a breathing thing, please. I get most, just not that one. I don't understand nothing. I'm lost. She was in park and not in park. A couple of no. I mean, I understand. I guess it's probably him driving. I guess it's almost like you could say it's what, like, could you say it's genius that they're looking when the car's in park and not in park to coincide their timeline? I guess, but still. Yeah, and then the 91111 and then 911. Did he? No, you weren't. You were good, Mo. You were great. Courtney, thank you so much for the super chat. Says 16 minutes to mom's, 20 minutes at mom's, like Shelly said, and then 16 minutes back home. Yeah, the Shelly's timeline does, as far as how long he was there at the house. Courtney, closing arguments will tie it all together. Thank you. See you too. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says absolutely loved that hoodie jacket. Are you going to do a hoodie with the Murdaugh heads on the back? That would be so dope. Have the judge on the front with peace. I'm gonna ask the girls, see if I don't know if they can concoct something. A hoodie jacket with all the Murdaugh heads. Murdaugh. I'm just surprised they kind of just like didn't try to make a point at the end. They just fucking, I don't know. They went all that timestamp shit and then just all right, thanks. Have they given up? I mean, they can't give up now, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, close it up, do something, cause some sort of controversy, lead the witness a little bit so we get what they're trying to say, and then let them object it. Damn. They gotta be over this shit, sitting there in that corner. Sled. A sled hoodie? That would be kind of dope. I don't know. It's got to be boring too, right? It's got to be like a, I don't know, very nonchalant, plain, no colors, no like nothing, very small print, barely legible. Or we could do like a confusing chart, just all over the fucking place. Florida T-Bird, thank you for the super chat. Says we need a car timeline between 7 and 9 p.m. where AM says he was asleep. Oh, you don't know who Cousin Eddie is, Shannon? Oh, no. Oh, Cousin Eddie's pissed. You don't know Cousin Eddie? No. I think no notes is crazy too. I don't know. When I did a jury for a month, the jury case for a month I was on, we were taking notes. Now, I didn't sit there and jot down everything, but I thought notable things I'd write down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to recess for
the day.
The day.
Yeah,
Resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Please do not discuss the case.
All right. Bruh. Ugh. What happened today? What a mess. Oh, you don't know about Cousin Eddie? Oh, no. Oh, you better find out, Cousin Eddie. Oh, no. I feel like the mic is kind of low. Is it low? The mic's good? Cousin Eddie. Discuss what? None of us know what happened. Well, I thought they were coming back, so we got Mo off, but damn. And I wonder, the jury's got to be upset. Well, maybe they're not upset, but like, what a day that they just didn't really get to do much. Mess. A whole mess. And they're over here laughing and cackling too. All right, we'll call Mo back after they leave the courthouse. Well, the defense doesn't have that many people to call, though. They have a lot of shared witnesses, but Buster. Gone for the day. Murdaugh. There's Buster. Looking suspicious. You're a little happy today, a little chipper today, huh? Why you so chipper today, Buster? Huh? What's up with you? Eyes all shifty and shady, too. Buster. All right, so I guess we'll call Mo and then we'll call it a day. Whatever, whatever else she wanted to say. Let's see here. We'll call Mo. She want to give any final thoughts. Early day.
Hello.
Hi. Hola.
I always have to switch from my headphones to the phone because otherwise I'll hear 30-minute delay. 30-second delay.
There's a post here made by Kathy Rusan that I guess SUV log compared to Maggie's phone log. 903 SUV door opens. 904 missed call from Alex to Maggie. 906 orientation change. Maggie's phone. 906:14 missed call from Alex to Maggie. 906 SUV starts after he kills him, allegedly. 906:50 SUV taken out of park. 906:51 missed call Alex to Maggie. 907 to 931 screen off on Maggie's phone. 908.
I wonder though, did Maggie's phone ever have Bluetooth connection to his SUV?
I don't know.
Because I connect to my son's car all the freaking time. I wonder if there's a way that it can see if her phone searched for the Bluetooth on his car. The part that's gray in my mind is right before this. It doesn't make sense and it makes sense at the same time because there is the phone call with Paul and Rogan, which ended at 8:44, right? And around that time is when he started taking, they implied that he took the video of the dog's tail at 8:44 right after getting off the phone with Rogan. The reason why I'm saying implied is because they presented this video by saying, you were on the phone with Paul. Yes, yes. This call ended at 8:44. Yes, yes. Then he took this video and you never received it. Correct? Correct. Here's the video. Nobody ever testified to the actual time of the video. They said that around 8:44, there was a camera function that turned on for 50 seconds at around 8:44, but never actually said if that in fact was the video from that camera function. They, honestly, why not just show the metadata for the video? Why say this was a video that showed a GPS location at the barn, and this was a video that, was 50 seconds long? It's like, okay, but just show the date and time that the video was taken. That's easy to do on an iPhone. So I don't understand why they haven't introduced that, but also at the same time, I don't understand why the defense hasn't done it either.
Right.
So if no one is clearing that up, that is my gray area in the juror's mind.
Damn, this shit's crazy, man. I don't even know what to think.
Also, I want to know why they didn't test the tarp.
Anita says, but the point is he called 911 when he was in the truck and they didn't even get to the kennel. Oh, shit. Yet. That's what it's showing. And he was already on the phone with 911.
When?
She said, but the point is he called 911 when he was in the truck. When did he call 911? I thought the article...
10:06 is when he called 911.
Let me back it up. Let's see. Over here, there was a part that said. And now this thing is not even showing here. Yeah, I did see the timestamp here somewhere.
So, but
a
the
rough
problem,
timeline.
okay.
Look, okay. Here we go. Put this on the screen. A rough outline of the timeline appears to be, okay? So it says here at 9:06 p.m., the Murdaugh deports from the Moselle Road for his parents' house. So he's going to his mama's. He arrives at 9:22 p.m. Murdaugh stays for 21 minutes, as Shelley Smith testified, though he asked her to say he stay almost double that time. Why? I don't know.
Did he? But did he?
That's what Shelley says. You gonna doubt Shelley?
No, I'm not going to doubt Shelley.
How dare you?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But did he though? Or was he saying, I was here for 20 minutes or I was here for 30 minutes, in a regretful type of way, saying why wasn't I at home? Why didn't I, I can see it from both sides,
right.
Guilt of not being at home. And I was only here for 20 minutes. I was only here for 30 minutes. What the hell? You know what I mean? We don't know exactly the actual conversation with Shelley, and I can understand that she's feeling intimidated. But at the same time, we don't really know what exactly was said because it's not recorded.
All right. Well, let's keep going. So Murdaugh stays there, stays for 21 minutes, right? As Shelley testified. At 9:43/9:44 p.m., the vehicle goes out in out of park mode, and Murdaugh departs his parents' home from Moselle Road. He arrives at the house at 10 p.m. The car goes out and into park mode twice for a few seconds. At 10:04 p.m., the vehicle comes out of park mode as he drives from the house to the kennels, having not found Maggie and Paul at home. This takes approximately 1 minute. We know at 10:06 p.m. he called 911 after discovering the bodies of his wife and son and allegedly checking their pulses and trying to turn Paul over in the preceding minute. At 10:11, he drives back to the house and gets his shotgun over the course of a minute while he's still on the 911 call. It takes a minute to get the weapon. He then drives back down to the kennels, where the first responding police officers would find him minutes later.
Right. That's exactly how I heard how I heard it just now.
Okay.
So I don't know about the 911 call not being at the kennels back and forth or what. I'm not sure about that part.
So this parking and parking in and out when you cars in park and not in park, this still somewhat, and this is events after. When is it believed that the murders took place? It would have been earlier, right? The Snapchat video.
The only time that the murders could have taken place, if he is the murderer, the only time that the murders could have taken place is between 8:45 and 9:06. And that
And the
gives him
Snapchat video was what, 8:40 something?
Snapchat, or no, the actual video. The Snapchat video is the tree video. The dog video is a regular video.
Wait, okay, so the dog video, what time was that? Wasn't that the closest to the murders?
That was at 8:44 and stopped at 8:45 because it's roughly 50 seconds.
So if he did it, he would have had to kill them within...
He would have had to kill them.
15?
Hide evidence.
A little bit more,
shower,
15?
Change clothes, dry off, all in about 16 minutes. And then drive to his mom's house and act like everything's fine.
Damn, bro.
It's really, really hard with that such a close timeline. Then again, why was he on the freaking video, or why was his voice on the video at 8:44? Or is he telling the truth? And he did go to his mom's house. Then why lie about the nap? or did he mistake the time of the nap? You know, like that part I need to be clarified, because that's the gray area for me. And I also would like to hear, Buster say, "Bubba."
So, and how long did Booger, his timeline of stabbing 4 people? How many minutes was that? Wasn't it like, I forgot? I can't even. Everything's all blurry. You remember? It was like 15 minutes too, or some shit, or like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a really small time window.
Right. However, 15 minutes. Yeah.
Stabbing and shooting is different, but still.
But he didn't change. We don't know if he like changed clothes right after that. Like, okay. There's also so many different things. They're like, he changed clothes. Okay, yes, he changed clothes. Now there's GSR on him. Well, he would have had GSR on him. Yes, there's GSR on him because he picked up a gun. Well, he would have had blood on him. Do you honestly think that he's going to put his hand in blood to check for a pulse? And do you honestly think that he's really going to check for a pulse when half of his head is gone? He's probably going to reach at him somehow, you know, but I doubt he's going to do a lot to get dirty. And one thing I really need the prosecution to do, I need them to paint me a picture. Where the killer was standing when he shot who, when. Where the killer was standing when he shot the other person, when. What angle were they standing at? Who did he shoot first? Paint the picture of this man holding the gun in his hand. Because I don't see it yet, and it's enough to have me not say guilty.
Well, somebody was saying too. So T Harp said, "My big question is, how on God's green earth did he not hear the gunshots from the kennel to the house?"
The only thing that I can say to that is I hear gunshots around here all the time, and I pay no attention to it. So if I was sleeping or if I was anywhere, it wouldn't have made any. I wouldn't have paid any mind to it. However, if I was awake and I knew my son and my significant other was out there and I heard gunshots and then came home, I would have said that's cops.
Right. I would think you would have mentioned that too, right?
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody, you know, firing at hogs and come home and find my family dead, you know? So it's just so confusing, and so many bullets and so many guns and so much information that I cannot retain, that I have no idea if they want me to look left, right, up, down, or what.
And I just feel like this thing that this witness that they just had on, like, I don't think it helps the prosecution at all. I mean, unless they have something else, they're going to try to like closing arguments or some other witness to tie it in. I just don't see how this like helps. It almost makes it seem harder like to fit it in. Killing these 2 people.
Like, okay, so what the motive is that he wanted to kill his wife and his son because he wanted them to stop looking in on the finances? Okay, well, great. Now, not only are they looking in on the finances, but they're also looking in for a murder charge and have everything of your information public. Good job. You know, like, it sounds like that didn't do what if they're saying that that's his intention, that was stupid.
And so what you think, okay, with Cousin Eddie.
I don't know anything about Cousin Eddie.
Oh, you're a juror. So they haven't brought it into this thing yet.
I have not heard a damn thing about Cousin Eddie.
So you're you're purporting to be a juror, but you looked into the story before though. But you're putting yourself into the mind of a juror now though.
I heard that there was a situation on the side of the road where he got shot in the head, and people keep talking about Cousin Eddie is related to that. So I'm assuming that that's the whole situation, or that he may or may not have paid somebody to do that. And that's about all I know.
Okay. All right.
But so, like, this is so confusing.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Are these people sequestered? Doesn't that mean like they got to? First of all, are they sequestered? They're probably not, right? They're going to their homes.
I don't think they are sequestered, but they are told not to look into it, not to discuss it. So, like, technically, if I really was a juror, I would be doing a federal charge right now by just talking to you.
Right. A sequester means when they're like they isolate them to like a hotel or some shit, right? Like you can't.
They are not sequestered into a hotel. They can go home and go about their lives. They cannot research the Right? They cannot research the
Am I saying the right word? Does sequester mean that they can't leave the location? They're put in a hotel or some shit?
sequestered is
Shacked
when they
up?
are put in a hotel. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, they are not sequestered, but they are told not to talk about the trial. Can't even talk to their husbands or wives about it, which I know must be killing them. And you know they probably are.
They probably are, yeah. So how was today? How was today?
Today sucks.
She was boring as hell, man, and that bomb threat and all. I need a drink.
What happens if you show up to jury duty hungover?
Yo. I don't know.
Why
But
do you
if they
wear
fall
your
asleep, they get kicked out, right? I've always heard that, like, if somebody falls asleep.
Well, I think they try to wake you up first. If you're repeat offenders, then they will probably substitute you with an alternate. I don't know. Did you fall asleep when you were in jury duty?
No, but almost. I was really, really close. It was really, really hard to, like, stay up.
I would have a really hard time not falling asleep on this. But then again, I doubt any of them were up till 4 o'clock in the morning working on bikinis.
Well, I appreciate your help on the merch stuff. You and Diggs.
We had to. We were like, oh my God, we're going to hit publish. We're going to put it on there.
All right, Mo. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you calling.
If you guys haven't checked out the merchandise website,
Yeah, check out the website.
And we're coming up with new ideas all the time.
Thanks, Mo.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, that's Mo. Mo. I don't know why I feel tired, even though we had like a 2-hour break. I feel like my body's just wearing down. Got a 2-hour break. Oh, what's that? Oh, Jesus. Oh, there's a mouse pad too. We need to get some more different images. That's what I got. I got to send them images. But I really like the hoodie is dope as shit. That's my favorite on there. The hoodie and the zip up hoodie. And where's that mug? Oh, it's page 2. Wait, did you guys take down the mug? Where's the mug with oh, here. Oh, my bad. That's me. Judge. Yes, Judge. I gotta get a mug for sure. Mug and a hoodie, I think. But yeah, thank you guys so much for today. Oh, what the heck? What the hell on my face? You thought I saw something. Thank you guys so much for today. I appreciate it. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. I don't know. I'm gonna chill. I need to do like a short video on something. We'll see if I come back later, maybe with something short. Make sure you check out the sponsor, Swag It. Swag Bucks. Check out the sponsor, man. Swag It. Download the app. Click the link. Follow me on there. Check out the videos. We're doing a giveaway at the end of I wonder how I'm gonna do that because I'm moving too. It's supposed to be at the end of the month, but I'll let you guys know. Or maybe. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I should do a hairbrush. It would be nice to have a hairbrush sponsor or something, and I can just use that shit every day on here. I need a hairbrush sponsor, hairbrush company, and really just keep growing out the hair. Swag It. So yeah, check out the app. The app is free. It supports me. On the channel, it helps me with my conversion numbers, which is great for this current sponsor and who knows future sponsors. I wanted to pin this before I get out of here. I should. Oh, you know what? I should schedule tomorrow's thing too, right? Let's do that right now. Oh, I got the wrong person. Replace pin. There we go. Let's schedule tomorrow's thing right now, and let's play something in the background, right? What's going on? Court TV, Law and Crime. The crime of a century. What call a crime of a century? It's fascinating, the trial. Got bomb threats, people passing out, confusing shit. What's going on with a XXX Tentacion? Oh, they're already done for today. I told y'all, motherfuckers.
saw that day is it fair and accurately represent what he recalls? And he can say yes. So I think that satisfies.
I wonder how long that trial is going to be. XXX. They got some new shit to Creator Music Beta. Bring your videos to life with Creator Music. Explore a growing catalog of popular music and find tracks under terms that fit you. How does it work? $0. More tracks at no charge. Licenses protect your videos. Our licenses allow you to use music in your videos without demonetizing. Revenue sharing with no upfront cost. These tracks that you split your YouTube. I don't want to split no cost. I ain't trying to split no cost with y'all. How do I know what's what? No upfront payment required. These tracks allow you to monetize your video by sharing revenue. I'm not trying to share revenue. I'm already sharing revenue with YouTube. What? Hell no. Hell no to the no. Okay, let me set up tomorrow's live. Yeah, man. I can't read that. All right, so let's set up tomorrow's live. Reuse settings, day 14. Boom. And maybe the trial is picking up now. Maybe it's not going to be as slow or whatever. I think things are picking up. Maybe. Kind of. Set up for tomorrow. They're going through some of these witnesses faster. I don't look like they got much left in them. Even the SLED people kind of... I mean, they sure can drag it out, though. That's for sure. If they want to drag it out, they can. And confuse the hell out of people. Maybe that's a strategy. Confuse everybody and then just go for the closing arguments. 9:20 tomorrow. SLED. I'm hungry too. SLED. Oh, I gotta change the bomb threat. No bomb threat tomorrow, right? Unless somebody does it again. Imagine if somebody does that every day and they have to like stop every day. SLED. Redirect tomorrow. Okay, boom. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate that. Remind me for captions. I turned it on now for tomorrow. Amazing. Just Jeff said, literally not interested in that trial at all. Oh, the XXX Tentacion maybe? Sorry, but when you live that life and you brag about your money, people are coming for you. You snitch and you're just adding to your chances. Get down or lay down, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't say all that, the last two sentences. Drita, thank you so much. 16-month membership. Holy moly. Thank you. Love this channel. We need a Mel shampoo. That would be dope. Oh, Natalie, thanks so much for the super chat. Says, Mel, can you cover the case of Evelyn Guardado from Texas? Latinos need to spread the word. I haven't heard of that case. I'm having a really hard time squeezing anything in, honestly. I try to when I can, but like while covering this and now trying to move and all this stuff. I'll take a look, but yeah, it's just really, really hard right now. Guardado. Missing. That's it. All right, I'm going to head out of here, man. I'm going to move you guys to tomorrow morning. Please hit the like button, subscribe, set a reminder for tomorrow. Jesus. Falling. Set a reminder for tomorrow. And late streams this week. I don't know, man. I know we do need a good police chase. All right, man. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. If something pops up, maybe later. Love you. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.